Everyone brings the same barbecue sides: potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, but today we're sharing 10 barbecue side dishes no one ever thinks to make that might just steal the show.
These are the unexpected side dishes that make people stop mid-bite and ask, wait, what is this? And then go back for seconds.
Now this one you might not have ever seen before. It's an old-fashioned cornbread salad. It's packed with flavor. We've got tomatoes, corn, beans, red peppers, and of course that cornbread. In a small bowl, mix together half a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of sour cream, a tablespoon of dry ranch seasoning, and a tablespoon of water, and stir it together until it's smooth and creamy. Set this dressing aside for later. This is what brings it all together. And let's start making that salad. In a large bowl, combine 2 chopped Roma tomatoes, a small diced red pepper, a cup of sweet corn, a cup of pinto beans, and 4 diced green onions. Give it a good mix so that everything is evenly distributed. Scoop out about a cup of the veggies. We're gonna put this on the salad at the end, and it's gonna make everything look fresh and colorful. Now grab your cornbread. This is just a simple boxed mix. I've already baked it and it's cooled. Crumble it up into bite-sized pieces. Not too small, you still want some texture. Let's start layering. In a glass serving dish, add half of the crumbled cornbread on the bottom. This is gonna soak up all that flavor. Next, add half of the vegetable mix right on top. Spread it out evenly so you get a little bit of everything in each bite. Sprinkle on half of the crumbled bacon, that's about 2 strips, and half of the shredded cheddar cheese, it's about a half a cup. This is where that smoky, savory flavor really starts to build. Now we're gonna spread on about half of the dressing. Don't worry about making this look perfect, just gently smooth it out over the top. And now we're gonna repeat all of that one more time. Finish with the rest of the dressing spread over the top. Take that reserved vegetable mixture and sprinkle it on the top for a fresh, colorful finish. And a little extra cheese if you want, it never hurts. Oh, look at that masterpiece, and here is the hard part. We're gonna have to cover it and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. This resting time is really necessary because it allows the flavors to kind of soak down and get in there without becoming soggy. And all those flavors are gonna meld together and make something wonderful. When you're ready to serve, just scoop straight down to get all those layers in one bite. It's unexpected, but amazing.
I do love that cornbread salad, but I've gotta say, this jalapeno cream corn is just as good. Maybe even better. It's so creamy, just a little spicy and a little crunchy. Heat a Dutch oven or large oven-safe pot over medium heat and add a little bit of vegetable oil. Once it's hot, toss in your diced jalapenos. Saute those for about 1 to 2 minutes, just until they're slightly softened. Once those jalapenos are just a little bit softened, we're gonna make the roux. Add 3 tablespoons of butter and let it melt. Then add 3 tablespoons of flour and whisk it together. Let it cook for a minute or 2 to cook out the raw flour. Now pour in 12 ounces of heavy cream and 10 ounces of milk. Then add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Stir everything together and bring it to a gentle boil. Add in 2 cans of drained corn and gently stir everything together so it's evenly coated in that creamy sauce. This is gonna cook for a few minutes until it starts to thicken. You'll feel it start to solidify, so don't walk away, you don't want it to burn. Sprinkle half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese over the top. This gives you that golden, slightly crispy finish. Bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, uncovered, for about 20 to 25 minutes. We want it to be bubbling all the way through. By the way, if you want to check out the full recipe, it's in the description down below. Or you can go to our website, A Food Lover's Kitchen. We have tons of great recipes there for you to try. It'll thicken a little as it cools, so don't worry if it looks just a little bit loose when you take it out of the oven. I like to sprinkle on a little toasted panko breadcrumbs for some crunch and chopped parsley for color. Scoop it up while it's warm. This is rich, creamy, and just a little bit spicy from the jalapeno. It's sweet, savory, cheesy. Honestly, it's kind of hard to stop eating. So Laura, what's up next?
Since it's barbecue season, we have to have a great grilling recipe, and I am currently really obsessed with this grilled romaine Caesar salad. First, get your grill nice and warm over medium-high heat so that it's ready to go when you're ready to put the lettuce on. While that's preheating, heat up a skillet over medium heat. Drizzle in a bit of olive oil and add your panko breadcrumbs. Then stir constantly for about 3 minutes until the breadcrumbs turn golden brown. Now grab your romaine hearts and slice them in half lengthwise, keeping the core intact so that they stay together on the grill. Drizzle them with olive oil all over Then season them with some salt and some pepper. Now we're ready to grill. Place the romaine halves cut side down on the grill. We're going to cook them for about 2 minutes per side. If you're looking for some nice grill marks and a little bit of char, but not too wilted, you want it to still have some crunch. Remove the romaine from the grill and place it on a serving platter. In a small bowl, mix together the Caesar dressing. It's a 1/3 cup of mayo, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a clove of garlic, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon of Worcestershire, and 1/2 teaspoon of anchovy paste. Add a little water to thin it out so that it drizzles really easily. Shake it until it's smooth. Drizzle the Caesar dressing generously over the top of the salad. Sprinkle those crispy, garlicky breadcrumbs all over, and finish with freshly grated Parmesan cheese and a little bit of cracked black pepper. You've got smoky, crunchy, creamy, and fresh all in one bite. It's not your average Caesar salad.
One of the most iconic sides at a barbecue is the broccoli salad. We're turning that around a little and making a creamy broccoli coleslaw. Start by making the dressing. In a small jar, combine a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise or Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and a 1/2 teaspoon of both salt and pepper. You want to shake it until it's smooth, creamy, and pourable. If it's not pourable, then you can add just a little bit of water if you need to. If you're using a whole head of broccoli, chop both the florets and stems into small matchbook-sized pieces. If you want a shortcut, you can use a bag of pre-shredded broccoli slaw mix. Add the broccoli to a large bowl. Then toss in 6 chopped green onions, 2/3 cup of golden raisins, 1/3 cup of sliced almonds, and 1/3 cup of roasted sunflower seeds. Pour the dressing over the slaw and toss everything together until it's fully coated. Make sure you get down into the bottom of the bowl so nothing gets left dry. Let it set in the fridge for a bit so the flavors can all meld together. It's ready to eat. I can definitely see why this salad is at every party. It's just so good. This is a creamy cucumber salad that's perfect as a barbecue side dish. Add the sliced cucumbers to a colander and salt them well on both sides. Let those sit for about 20 minutes. The salt will drain out the moisture so the sauce stays creamy. Next up is the onion. Slice them really thin, and then you want to quarter them. 2 slices should be enough. Okay, now let's get the pasta on. I'm going to use penne for this recipe. While that's cooking, let's make the marinade. Combine the olive oil, red wine vinegar, and dried oregano in a bowl. Then put the onions in there for about 5 minutes to get some flavor. Get the pasta drained and run it under cold water to stop the cooking and cool it down. I'm going to make the dressing right in the mixing bowl to save on dishes. So, to a large mixing bowl, you want to add the Greek yogurt, garlic, lemon juice, dill, salt, and pepper. Now add in the cucumbers, the marinated onions with some of their liquid, and the cooled pasta. Toss everything together until the dressing is well dispersed. If you're making this pasta salad ahead of time, keep your dressing separate until you're ready to serve it. That'll ensure everything is fresh and crunchy. I really love this salad. It's just so refreshing.
Grilled cabbage steaks are one of my absolute favorite side dishes, especially drizzled in chimichurri. I cut these into pretty thick wedges to make the steaks, about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. Drizzle olive oil on both sides. Don't be shy here, the cabbage absorbs it beautifully. Season it generously with salt and pepper. We are roasting these in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. We'll need to turn them over at 15 minutes, but in the meantime, let's make the chimichurri. The sauce is made with about 1/3 cup of olive oil, a handful of cilantro, 2 tablespoons red wine vinegar, 1 clove of garlic, a teaspoon of oregano, and a little salt and pepper. Pulse that in the chopper or food processor until it's chopped, but not smooth. Chunky's good. Now let's toast some breadcrumbs. Add a little olive oil to the pan, then add the panko. I'll add some lemon pepper seasoning too for an extra burst of flavor. When these are done, take them out of the pan so they don't burn and set them aside. Flip over the cabbage after 30 minutes. Don't worry if they fall apart a little bit, they'll still taste just as good. And we're gonna put these back in for about 15 more minutes. Look at those charred edges. Doesn't this look amazing? This is a $2 side dish that plates up more like a $15 steakhouse side. And it's delicious.
I'm making a side dish that's basically potato salad in party mode. Jalapeno popper potato salad. Start by giving your potatoes a good scrub. We're using russets today. Drop them in a pot of cold water, bring it to a boil, and let them cook for around 20 minutes or until they're fork tender. Once they're cool enough to handle, peel and cube them. Well, now that we've done all of the prep, we're ready for the good stuff. So grab a great big bowl. You want to have lots of room to mix up your salad. We're going to add in the cream cheese. Make sure it's softened. It's going to stir up so much better that way. Sour cream. And the mayonnaise. Once the sauce is combined and smooth, add the cheddar cheese, chopped bacon, green onion, diced pickled jalapeno, a fresh jalapeno for heat, dry ranch seasoning, a splash of pickled jalapeno juice. Mix it all up. Then add some salt and pepper to taste. And then just stir it until it's smooth and creamy. Now you can toss in your cubed potatoes and gently fold everything together. We want everything coated, not mashed. All right, well there you go. Your new favorite barbecue side dish is ready. I've been making this all season and I hope you love it as much as I do.
These beans are sweet, smoky, and a little sassy. After this, you will never make them any other way again. We're starting with the bacon. You're slicing about 4 pieces of thick cut bacon and then put it into your cast iron skillet. We're not going for crispy here, just about halfway cooked, which should take around 3 minutes. Now go in with half of a chopped onion. Low and slow for about 8 minutes. It softens and gets nice and sweet, kind of like caramelized onions, but faster. And don't forget the garlic. 2 cloves, minced up, and just 30 seconds in the pan. Now we're gonna start building that flavorful sauce. And it starts with the tomato sauce. Just pour that in. It's smelling really good in here. And this is where the magic happens. Pour in the whole bottle of Dr. Pepper. Trust me on this one, your beans aren't going to end up tasting like soda. They'll have an intense richness and just a hint of cherry. Pour in the barbecue sauce, molasses, Worcestershire, apple cider vinegar, and a little mustard powder is going to give it a little extra zing. Next, we're going to add the beans, and you can go a couple different directions with the beans. You can use dried beans, just rehydrate them and cook them, or you can use canned pinto beans. Now, obviously I'm using canned pinto beans because it's so much faster. Get these all right in here. Stir it all together. Hopefully you chose a larger pot than I did. Mine's about to hit overflow capacity here. Now you can leave it on the stovetop to bubble away at medium-low heat, or you can pop it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or you can stick it right on your grill. If you were doubting me about the Dr. Pepper, wait until you try this. It's really hard to tell you what the Dr. Pepper does for these beans. It just adds this really great sweetness. Look how smoky it is. Yep.
This toasted asparagus salad should definitely be on your menu. You'll be making this from now on. It starts with toasted breadcrumbs, which we're making ourselves with day-old bread. Put the bread in the food processor and pulse to break it down. You want it to still be a bit chunky, not super fine like panko. Now let's toast them. In a large pan, over medium heat, add a little bit of oil. When it's hot, add the crumbs and the salt. Toast them slowly on medium or low heat, stirring them around the pan until they're golden brown. When they're done, transfer them to a bowl. You can toast the pistachios in the same pan over low heat. Again, remove them once they look toasty. Now let's chop some fresh asparagus. I'm going to get a little fancy with this and cut it on the bias. In a large bowl, combine the breadcrumbs, pistachios, grated Parmesan cheese, red pepper flakes, salt and pepper, lemon zest, and lemon juice. Fold it together gently. Add the chopped asparagus back to the dish and give it a gentle toss. Now you can drizzle on the olive oil. Before you serve it, you can garnish with lemon slices and a squeeze of fresh lemon. The asparagus is super crunchy, but I think the breadcrumbs are my favorite part. Delicious.
This smoked brisket and cheese dip, it's loaded up with 3 types of cheese, smoky brisket, tomatoes, and jalapenos, and it's just delicious. Start by layering 6 ounces of white American cheese, 4 ounces of Monterey Jack, and 4 ounces of sharp cheddar. Then add half of the chopped brisket, that's about 3 ounces, 1 of the diced jalapenos, with as many of the seeds removed as you want, and half of the pico de gallo, which is about 1/4 of a cup. Pour on 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. Then sprinkle 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon cumin, 1/2 teaspoon granulated garlic, 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Pop it in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Stir it every 5 minutes as it melts. This helps the cheese blend and keeps things from sticking. Once everything's melted and bubbly, top it off with the rest of the brisket, jalapenos, and pico that you saved from earlier. Serve it with some tortilla chips. If you get a good brisket, this is going to be irresistible. Yum. Now you've got 10 barbecue side dishes that nobody thinks to make, but everybody will be asking for the recipes.
If you're planning a backyard cookout, you might also love our easy make-ahead appetizers. They're perfect for getting the party started before the grill is even hot.